everyone, I hope you enjoyed our 80s and you're going to enjoy this pleasant evening because a cooling trend is on the way. Showers are back in the forecast, and by early next week we're in the 50s. Now, we're going to take a deep dive into your most reliable forecast. Look at what's been happening today, what you can expect as we go forward, and how some of these changes are going to impact our forecast, because we are seeing a huge shift in the weather pattern and our next round of warming holds off till next week. So buckle up, it's going to be fun. Let's start off with what we're seeing right now. A whole lot of cloud cover across central Oregon. Now, earlier today, it was mostly sunny to partly cloudy, but we also see a little bit of haze. That haze is smoke from prescribed burns across central Oregon. So when we go ahead and just focus on it, this week there have been several, most in Deschutes County, one of them in southern Jefferson County, and there's one that's bringing that smoke plume right into central Oregon. There's another smoke plume that's coming out of Klamath County, but for the most part, what we're expecting is periods of reduced air quality because of this. And when we take a little bit of a closer look, that should have zoomed in for you. Let me go ahead and straighten that out. So here in the last couple days, we've had that 30-acre burn just south of Sisters, 111 southwest of Bend, and 2 of them near Lapine. The one's near Lapine, the one that's still burning, this 145 plus acreage that's expanded on what was before, that's what's putting out most of the smoke. And that smoke is impacting parts of central Oregon. You can actually see where that fire is. Here's that hot spot from this fire. Winds are coming out of the west and southwest, pushing that smoke over southern Deschutes and Crook County. The only sensor that's showing reduced air quality is one near southeast Bend, and that's southeast, pretty far down there. And what we're looking at is some unhealthy for sensitive groups when it comes to our air quality. Now tonight, as this sets back up, we're looking at more reduced air quality for a bigger part of our Tri-County area. So there's that main smoke plume, another one coming out of Klamath County toward Pine Mountain and into Crook County as well. But tonight, winds are still going to be a little breezy this evening, pushing that smoke further to the south because they're coming out of the north and northwest. And then through the overnight and early morning hours, that smoke just creeps right back up the 97 corridor, and this is when we're looking at those areas of reduced air quality through the morning hours. So it's something we're continuing to track, and let's face it, we're in prescribed burn season. A satellite and radar doesn't show too much in the way of precipitation across the entire Pacific Northwest. Now, satellite does show a whole lot of cloud cover, but these clouds, as they develop, they're not producing any precipitation because we have just such a dry air mass. And I'll show you the water vapor imagery in just a second. We're going to start off with infrared, and this has an enhancement to really pull out those tall clouds a little bit more, and they've just been in and out across the high desert. Looking at the bigger picture, there are a couple things. First, a cold front that's coming through parts of Washington. The tail end of that clips us tomorrow. Second, another system further out over the Pacific Ocean. Each one is going to take its turn, impacting our forecast through the next couple of days. But that dry air mass is keeping us from getting any precipitation from these clouds. And it looks like it's going to stay that way through Saturday. By Sunday, we start to see a flip in our weather pattern. So, our temperatures today topped out in the 80s across the Tri-County area, at least for most of the Tri-County area. Not quite everybody got into the 80s, and right now we're still there for most. Sisters 78, 75 in Sun River, 76 in Lapine. But look at that, 81 in Prineville and Paulina, 82 in Bend, 85 in Redmond, and one of the Madras sensors is showing 79. Others are showing a little bit different, but we're still running between 3 and 11 degrees warmer than it was this time yesterday. So the same warm up we got from Thursday to Friday, we got from Friday to Saturday, and that's why the same one that we got Wednesday to Thursday, we got from Thursday to Friday, and that's why our temperatures are well into the 80s. But between Friday and Saturday, we're actually going to be cooling. In fact, tonight we're falling into the 40s. Tomorrow we're only topping out in the 70s. Now, this cloud cover is going to come back. We're just keeping it dry once again, and winds during the afternoon are going to be breezy. But let's go ahead and look at that weather pattern. And this is more focused on temperature. So I have a couple different things on here. We have temperatures. That's the base map. And then there is surface analysis drawings, as well as a couple of words to help understand what's going on. So through Friday, we have a dry cold front, going to bring more clouds, and our dip in temperatures going from 80s to 70s. A few 80s and 60s are still possible Saturday, but it's going to be cooler. It's still pleasant and above average for this time of the year. By Sunday, that cooler air mass digs even further into the Pacific Northwest, highs into the 60s, and a chance of some showers. By Sunday on Mother's Day, it's going to be scattered showers, not looking at too much in the way of a complete washout until we get to Monday. That's when one more low pushes into the region, bringing even more precipitation. Monday morning, we could be even looking at some flurries. And going forward past that, a few more changes are expected, but we stay unseasonably cool. Now, all the way from Monday through Tuesday, even Wednesday, as temperatures start to rebound with less in the way of precipitation, we're still looking at temperatures that are going to be a little below that average high of 67 degrees. But let's go ahead and look at a forecast model. This one is what we typically show on your traditional forecast model. We can still see high pressure that's built into the Pacific Northwest. We see that next cold front, and we see a couple different systems out over the Pacific Ocean. So for tonight, we're looking at in and out clouds. That continues through Saturday. More cloud cover, similar to what we had today. Just periods of sunshine, dry, breezy at times, and not much in the way of precipitation until we hit Sunday. At that point, scattered showers are expected. Now, starting the day off at 8 a.m., some of this is going to be Virgo. We still have that dry air mass, so not all of it quite reaching the ground, but off and on showers continue through the rest of Mother's Day, so periods of sunshine are going to be possible, some clearing, but we still have more precipitation. And then Monday, that next system rolls right through Central Oregon. Now it's fizzling out over the Pacific Northwest. What that means for us is winds are still going to be breezy. We keep that moisture. We get another cool down, but this moisture is going to linger over the region until we get to Tuesday. By Tuesday, we start to clear out later in the day. So when we look at our GFS, which is the long range forecast model, it's showing pretty much the same thing. By Tuesday, still a lot of cloud cover, some sprinkles left on the map. By Wednesday, we start off with clouds, begin to get a little bit of clearing late in the day, and by Thursday we're back to sunshine, and that's when our next warming trend starts. But we still have a few waves of moisture that are going to be impacting us, particularly on Friday, slowing down that next warming trend. So between now and 11 p.m. on Monday, that two cold fronts or one cold front and a low pressure with a cold front push through the Pacific Northwest. We are getting wet this weekend, and just to time it out, by 7 a.m. on Sunday, some scattered showers. Remember, some of this could be Virga, not quite reaching the surface, but through the rest of Sunday and Monday, we're just getting wet with a little bit of mountain snow. Meanwhile, winds are a little gusty right now. The actual wind speed is 5 to 15 gusts at 20 to 25 miles per hour, and it's been like that here through the next couple of hours. It's going to stay like that. Remember, with this graphic, everything to the left of the white line is observed, everything to the right of it is forecast, and so by tonight, after sunset, we get down to a light breeze, a gentle breeze even, and it stays a light breeze until we get to tomorrow afternoon. That's when it's going to be breezy at times, but Sunday, with that next system, that next chance of rain, stronger winds are expected. So for tonight, 40s. By tomorrow, we're looking at 70s, a mixture of a whole lot of cloud cover, a little bit of sunshine, and more of that haze and smoke and some reduced air quality. A few 80s are possible, but then by Sunday, we're in the 60s. Monday and Tuesday, we're in the 50s with stronger winds and more precipitation. By Tuesday, rain chances start to go down. They just don't completely get out of here until hump day of next week. After that, we start to see our next warming trend. We're back up to near average by Thursday and Friday. So just a quick recap for you. Our weekend headlines include this: Heat Friday, a gorgeous evening, but rain and breezy winds are coming back later. First, a weak and dry cold front Saturday, and then cooling with showers expected by Sunday. We need the rain because we are in actually just unseasonably dry for this time of the year. Even though the drought monitor doesn't look this bad. I normally dry on the other side of the Cascades, but in the last 30 days, we've just not had much in the way of precipitation. So we need it. It's on the way. Unfortunately, it's going to be for Mother's Day. Unless mothers, you like that, then happy Mother's Day. But that's it. Join us on Central Oregon Daily News in just a few minutes. We'll have more of your most reliable forecast and the latest headlines and news. See you then.